everybody. I miss you. I hope you're practicing yoga and meditating every day like I am. It's really important that you find some time every day to take care of yourself and your body. If you're new to yoga and mindfulness, well, this is the time. So let's make sure we have all the props we need for class. If you have a yoga mat, awesome. If you don't and you want to use another mat, please make sure that it's not that slippery. You could always use sneakers. Having a good surface is really important. If the mat is too thick, you might find it difficult to balance, so use whatever you can. You should have a blanket, doesn't matter what kind of blanket, we'll be using that. If you have a strap, that's nice. And if you don't, you might want to use a belt or a tie, and I highly recommend yoga blocks. If you have them, great. If not, we will make do with what we have. I also suggest you have a little water nearby. I have my diffuser going. If you have some essential oils, I have some doTERRA On God. It's actually an antiseptic and it smells fabulous. Put some on my wrists, a little bit on my forehead or temples. That feels good. I'd like you to take your blanket and bring it to a wall and get yourself settled into an easy pose or Sukhasana. Crossing your legs and just finding your comfortable position. Really leaning into the wall, using the support and scaffolds that we have available. Take your peace fingers and reach them out to the sides and let the tips of your fingers touch the ground. This is the Boo Mudra to help us find grounding and connectivity to the earth. Close your eyes. Start to focus on your breath, just noticing your natural inhales and exhales. Think about elongating your spine, bringing some space in between each vertebra, lifting out through the crown of your head, relaxing your shoulders, and just breathe, finding your natural rhythm and your natural breath. On the next inhale, breathe in through your nose, nice long breath, and a sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. Again, breathe in through your nose, and a sighing breath out through your mouth. One more time like this. On the next inhale, breathing in through your nose. Close your mouth on the exhale, continuing to make that sighing breath. This is the Ujjayi Pranayama, the warming breath or ocean breath, breathing in through your nose with a closed mouth and out through your nose, keeping your mouth closed, really feeling the breath in the back of your throat, allowing that breath to bring you calmness and peace and warmth. So these are unprecedented times, times of uncertainty, when you may feel like you're on shaky ground and you don't know what tomorrow will bring. That's when you turn to your breath, and your breath can help steady you, breathing in peace and calm, and breathing out fear and worry, coming back to that rhythm of familiarity, following your inhales and following your exhales, feeling grounded and strong and resilient. Drop your chin to the chest. Reach your fingers out a little bit further, feeling a little stretch in the back of your neck and into your shoulders. Release your hands, bring them to your knees, flutter your eyes open, lift your chin, pressing into the wall, using the wall and other props that we have to support and scaffold us. Use all the support you can at this point. Bring your feet to the mat if you'd like, And you can press into your thighs, getting an even deeper press against the wall. Breathing in and breathing out. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, keeping some space between your shoulders and your ears. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Crossing your feet back again, removing the blanket, keeping that just off to the side. Finding your tall spine with or without the wall. Really engaging your core muscles, the Mula Bandha, the energy lock at the lower belly, and the Uddiyana Bandha, the energy lock on top of your belly button. Bringing your navel to your spine, elongating the vertebra. Elongating your spine. Imagining a string from the base of your spine going through each vertebra and lifting up through the crown of your head, bringing length and space between each vertebra. Relaxing your shoulders, feeling tall and grounded. Begin to walk your hands forward, keeping your spine straight and walking out as far as you can go, bringing your forehead to the mat or to a block or to a blanket. Walking your fingers out a little further. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and one more exhale. Walking your hands back to center, switching the cross of your legs, and then walking your hands out once again, bringing your forehead to the mat or to a block, finding ease and relaxation in this pose. If anything I suggest does not feel good or hurts, please release that right away. Honor your body and pay attention to what just needs more breath and more time and space and what should be released immediately. Walking your hands back to center, extending your legs out so that your feet are at the edges of the mat, pointing your toes to the sky, flexing your feet, and sitting up really tall. You can again use the wall if that feels good, or you can engage your core muscles. Hinging forward, keeping your spine straight. You may not be able to go very far, but go as far as you can go with a straight spine, and then release your head, neck, and shoulder, and just fall over. If you would like to come a little closer to your feet and you have a strap available, you can take that strap and bring your chest a little bit closer to the mat. Breathing in and breathing out. Bringing your right hand to your right foot. If you can't reach it, you certainly can bend your knees. I should have said that to the start. Your legs in this position do not need to be perfectly straight. So your hand is on your right, the outside of your right foot. The left arm reaches to the sky. Follow your hand and taking this open side stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Releasing that left hand down. Making sure the left hand now has a hold of the outside of your foot, and the right arm lifts up to the sky. Opening to the other side, keeping that right hip grounded, trying not to let that hip rise up. Breathing in and breathing out. Releasing that right hand down. See if you can pull forward a little bit more, the crown of the head reaching towards the top of your mat, and then slowly rolling up. And bringing the bottoms of your feet together into a Baddha Konasana. I like to hold on to my feet. If you'd prefer to hold on to your shins or to your knees, that's perfectly okay. And once again, we find that tall spine using the wall or engaging your core muscles. Again, you can use the wall or rely solely on your core muscles to keep you tall. Keeping your left hand on your feet, or perhaps bringing your left hand to your right shin, right arm lifts up and over, and your gaze is down towards your left knee. And lifting up to center. Right hand on your left ankle or shin, and your left arm lifts up and over. Gaze is down towards your right knee. And then continue doing this on your own. Go at your own pace, trying to press open those knees. You can also put blocks underneath your knees if that feels good. Take a couple more side stretches to each direction, waking up your spine, getting it ready to move freely. Coming back to center, crossing one leg in front of the other, rolling over onto your knees and coming into tabletop position. Or come here any way you can. So tabletop is a great place to relieve tension and to rest. Please make sure that you have a little spread in your fingers so that you have greater stability. Your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. The index fingers are pointing to the top of the mat. That keeps your wrists in the safest position. Your knees are directly under your hips. Your gaze is down. And once again, you elongate that spine. Bringing your navel to your spine, not letting the belly fall here. On the inhale, drop your belly and bring your gaze up. On the exhale, lift your belly towards the sky, chin to your chest, and carve out that belly. Cat. On the inhale, drop your belly, gaze is up. Cow. And on the exhale, lifting up. Follow your own natural breath here. Taking your cats and cows at any speed that feels right to you. Take two more like this. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Extending your right leg behind you so that the toes are tucked. And you can begin to just rock gently. Feeling a little stretch in your toes, maybe in your calf muscles. And then finding stillness. If you'd like, you can raise that right leg, keeping those toes reaching towards the ground, a flexed foot. Keep that leg no higher than hip height. And you can stay here, or perhaps you want to lift your left arm, palm facing in. Again, gaze is down to your spine and your neck is long. And you can stay here. Please be breathing purposefully. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to bring my elbow to the knee and extending out. Again, elbow to knee and extend it. Curling in, extending out, curling in, extending out. One more time, in and out. Reach your fingers, reach your toes, and let that left hand and right knee return to the earth. This time we extend the left foot behind us and begin to roll out on the toes, feeling a little massage in the back of your calf. And then coming to stillness, lifting that leg if you'd like, no higher than your hip, keeping the foot flexed. And if you'd like to reach your right arm forward, palm facing in, engaging that core, feeling the energy locks, your Mula Bandha, your Uddiyana Bandha. And you can bring your knee to your elbow, curling in and extending out. Elbow to knee and out. Knee to elbow and out. Knee to elbow and out. Knee to elbow and out. Return the hand, return the knee. Tuck your toes and lift yourself up into a downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, your hands once again are in that same position of table. You have some spread, index fingers pointing forward, and you're really pressing into those hands, especially the index and thumb, so that the weight is not in your upper body, but the weight is really in your lower body, and it's making your heels heavy. Your heels may not reach the ground, that is okay. If you'd like, you can pedal out your feet here, take some movement. Maybe you want to wag your seat from side to side, maybe a little moving forward and back. And then try to settle in and find some stillness. Stillness is always such a challenge. The way to do it is to bring your focus to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Please make sure there's no tension in your neck and shoulders. Give your head a little nod, yes. A little shake, no. Ending on the positive, let's nod, yes. Pressing back a little further. And then gently bending your knees, bringing your knees to the ground, untucking your toes, sitting on your heels, coming into Balasana. If you'd like, you can extend your knees to the edge of the mat, and then once again, bring your forehead to the earth. If your forehead does not reach comfortably, you can find a blanket or a block to help you ease in here. Allowing the hands to reach forward. Breathing and releasing. And then walking your hands back to your body, bringing your knees in if you had them wide, tucking your toes again, bringing your hands back underneath your shoulders and lifting up one more time to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. See if it feels a little deeper, a little easier now. This is a fabulous full body stretch. And then walking your feet to your hands, coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to a block again, or if you want to make this a little deeper, you can interlace your fingers and bring them to your neck or the bottom of your crown of your head, the base of your head, and just settle in, elbows wide. You certainly can have your knees bent here. It helps to bring your chest towards your thighs. In fact, everybody, bend your knees and see if you can bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. And you can stay here with bent knees, or you can try to straighten. Crown of the head reaching to the mat, elbows reaching to the sky, to the sides of the room. Release your hand, deep knee bend, and slowly, with control, roll up one vertebra at a time. Your shoulders, your neck, and your head are the last thing to stand. Standing at the top of your mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feeling really grounded in your feet. Take a peek down, make sure your feet are parallel-ish. All parts of the feet are equally touching. the earth. Your legs are engaged. Tuck in your pelvis, bring in your navel to your spine. Your heart is open. You're breathing, and you are very present. Moving into Surya Namaskar, our sun salutation, our flow. Arms reach out and up. Hands touch overhead, and we swan dive down with slightly bent knees. Inhale, hands on your shin or tented fingers. Releasing your head, neck and shoulder, hands to the ground. Stepping your right leg back, coming into a low lunge. Please make sure your left knee is directly on top of that left ankle. Let's reach forward, reaching and shining our hearts forward. Lowering that right heel to the ground, preparing to lift up for Warrior Two. You can either crawl up your body or lift up to Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, once again, your left knee is directly on top of that left ankle. It's not farther back and it's not too far forward. Your hips and shoulders are in line with the side of your mat. Your gaze is forward. Your fingers are active, but not tense. Let's lift the shoulders and release them just to make sure we're not holding any tension there. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's stay here for a few moments. Settling in, noticing the sensations in our body, in the room. Feeling comfortable and safe and grounded. Turning your left palm up, reaching your left hand forward as if you're serving tea. Left arm reaches up and over. Right arm reaches down the back of your leg. Shanti or peaceful warrior. Making sure you're keeping that knee bend. Your shoulder is not rising up. Your gaze is to your left hand. Straighten the left leg into a reverse triangle pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back to Warrior Two, your forearm comes to your thigh, or maybe your hand comes to a block or perhaps the floor as we come into Utthita Parshvanasana, side angle. If you're bringing this right shoulder down, your way to, you need to open that up. So that's why it's really nice to stay up here with your forearm on your thigh. Right arm reaches up. And if you'd like to extend it further, reach it back of the room. It comes down and reaches forward. Gazes towards that right hand. Breathing in and breathing out. Lifting up to star pose, you may need to walk your feet in a little bit and keeping your toes turned out. Hands on your hips for now. We're going to practice some sunflowers, and I want to make sure that we do the bending safely. So let's do the first plie slowly. So bending your knees, your toes are pointed out, you're in a comfortable wide stance, but you're only coming as far as you can come, keeping those knees outward so the knees are not coming in. Make sure you can at least see your big toes, and make sure you're not bringing a big arch to your back. So tucking your pelvis, bringing the navel to the spine. If you'd like, you can cactus your arms. And then straighten your legs, reach your arms to the sky. So let's do that as a flow, coming down and lifting up. These are actually moonflowers. We'll do sunflowers a little bit later. Cactus arms and lift. Last time and lift. Releasing your arms, turning those toes towards the edge of the mat, rebending that front knee, bringing your whole torso towards the front of your mat. Your shoulders and hips are now square to the mat, preparing for Virabhadrasana 1, making sure that your back foot is not rolling in, that the full foot is on the ground, and you can keep your hands on your hips, keep them in prayer hands, Anjali Mudra, or you're welcome to release your arms to the sky in a full expression of Virabhadrasana 1. Breathing in and breathing out. Hands come to the ground, left leg steps back into plank pose. So if this doesn't feel good, you are welcome to drop your knees and come into a kneeling plank. If not, make sure that your shoulders are directly over your wrists. You're trying to keep your shoulders and hips in the same alignment. Breathing in and breathing out. Everybody gently release your knees, untuck your toes, bending your elbows, keeping your elbows by your ribs, bringing your chest slowly to the ground. Chin touches, pressing into your hands. We press into our hands and come into Cobra Pose. Forehead touches the ground. Tuck your toes, press yourself back to downward facing dog. And you can either walk your feet to your hands, or maybe you want to bend your knees and jump your feet to your hands, straightening your legs, reverse swan dive, hands come to your heart. We will repeat that on the other side. Arms reach out and up, touching overhead, and we swan dive down. Straighten your spine, look into the top of your mat, and then releasing your head, neck, and shoulders. Left leg steps back this time. We're in our low lunge. Let's lift our heart forward, making sure the right knee is directly over the right ankle. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing that right heel to rotate down, preparing to lift up to Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And once again, you can curl up your body to get here. And once you're here, see if you can settle in. Make sure you have that nice deep knee bend, right knee on top of that right ankle. Your shoulders and your hips are facing to the other side of the mat. Gaze is forward. Let's lift those shoulders again and release them. Flipping your right hand, reaching your right hand forward, up and back, left hand down your left leg. Gaze is up towards your right hand. Right shoulder is pressing down, keeping that deep knee bend. And now straightening that right leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Rebending, coming back to Warrior 2, and coming into your side angle. So either bringing the forearm to the thigh, and the arm can come down and forward, or once again your hand can come to a block or to the earth. Breathing in and out. Lifting up to star pose on the other side. You may have to wiggle around here to find the right stance. Toes are out. This time we're going to do moon flowers. Arms reach out to the side. As we take our plie, bring your upper body down as if you're scooping some flowers, and then lift up and release them to the sky. Again, scooping the flowers and lifting to the sky. And keep going. Take a few at your own pace here, allowing the flow to just happen naturally. Last time. Releasing your arms, turning those left toes towards the side of the mat, rebending your right knee, turning your hips and your shoulders towards the top of your mat, keeping your hands on your hips, at your heart, or lifted. Breathing in and breathing out. Hands come to the earth, right leg steps back to plank. So from here, you have a choice. You can take chaturanga and meet us in downward facing dog, or you can drop your knees, untuck your toes, and once again, bring your chest to the ground, hugging those elbows to your side, pressing up into cobra or up dog if you're in chaturanga. Tucking the toes, coming back to downward facing dog, and walking or jumping your feet to your hands. Reverse swan dive, hands come to your heart. So now we're going to practice tree pose, Vrikshasana. You can do this against the wall or holding onto the wall if you like. We're going to balance, bringing a little extra weight into our right leg, and the left leg can either just hover off the ground, or maybe the foot comes to your right calf, or maybe it comes to your thigh. It does not go to your knee. So find your tree pose. You can keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands to your heart. Find your drishti gaze, something to stare at. Notice your breath. Engage your core muscles. Maybe you want to lift your arms overhead, and maybe they open up like branches. Or maybe you want to take some movement and see if the tree weathers the storm. Trees are going to sway, just like we're going to sway in our storm. But we will stay strong because we are rooted and grounded. And release your tree whenever you're ready, and we'll try that on the other side. Bring in a little extra weight into the left leg, and either just hovering the right toes, or the foot can come to the calf, or perhaps to your thighs. And once again, find your comfortable hand placement, either at your heart, above, or out. And try to just settle in. Finding your breath, finding your gaze, finding your Mula and Uddiyana bandhas. Breathing, finding balance in the weeks to come is going to be essential. Finding time to come back to quiet and stillness, while challenging your body and challenging your balance. And release the pose. I invite you to come to the ground and come to your bellies. Bringing your hands along your sides and turning your left cheek to the ground and just letting go here. This is a great place to be. A nice way to realign your spine. If you're doing a lot of work from home on the computer, it's essential that you take breaks and stretch and elongate your spine so we're not crunched over all day. Breathing and releasing. From here, bring your arms in front of you. Forehead to the ground, and we're going to lift alternative arms and legs. So we lift our right arm and our left leg, lower down. Lift the left arm and the right leg, lower down. Again, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. And just continue alternating a couple of times. And now we're going to lift our arms and our legs. Arms are reaching forward. Maybe they reach out to the side. Maybe they reach behind you, interlacing your fingers, coming up a little taller, pressing into your pubic bone, and releasing again. Turn your right cheek to the mat and just let it go. Melting into the mat. Noticing your heart rate. In some ways, yoga is like high interval training. We get our heartbeat up and we lower it and get it up and lower it. Bringing your arms out to a T, forehead to the ground, right leg lifts, right knee bends, and that right foot is reaching towards the ground as you take a little twist open. This is a really nice hip opener. If you want to get an even deeper shoulder opening, well, I know you're feeling it in your left shoulder, maybe you want to take your right arm to the sky or perhaps behind you, getting even deeper. Breathing and releasing. So the breath brings us energy and allows us to let go of all the things that don't serve us. Allowing that right arm to return to the earth, bringing your forehead back and letting that right leg come down. This time the left leg lifts up and back, left knee bends, left foot comes to the earth as your gaze now is towards the other side. Right arm and shoulder is getting a nice stretch. If you want to deepen this stretch, the left arm can lift up to the sky or perhaps reaching over. Breathing and releasing. Focusing on the things you need. Peace, love, grounding, togetherness, and breathing away all the things we don't need. Worry isn't going to help us. Letting that left arm come back around, returning your forehead down. And we're going to bring our forearms to the ground, coming into Sphinx pose. This is a fabulous stretch to open up your chest. Your heart is shining forward. Your tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. They can be a little apart if that feels comfortable. This is a really important stretch as we spend more and more of our time hovered over our devices. It's super important that we get this opposite stretch in every day. And from here, we're going to press back into Balasana, child's pose once again. Your knees can be apart or together. This time, bring your hands around to your feet so that your shoulders are completely released and relaxed. Sitting up on your heels, crossing your feet behind you, bringing your feet in front of you, come down onto your mat or come onto your backs any way that feels right. Bringing your right knee into your chest, Ardha Appanasana. Just giving it a gentle pull. Gentle press is more like it. If you have any knee concerns, don't hold on the top of your shin. You can hold on the back of your thigh as to not add any pressure to the knee. And if you'd like, you can extend that right leg, getting a beautiful stretch along your hamstrings and the back of your leg. And you can even bend and straighten if that feels good. If you'd like, you can lift up your upper body. See if you could bring your forehead and your chest a little closer to the leg. Releasing your upper body, rebending the knee, taking your arms out to T, scooching your butt a little bit to the right as you drop your knee over to the left, trying to keep that right shoulder pressed. So don't let that right shoulder come off the ground if possible. Your gaze can be over towards your right hand. If that doesn't feel good on your neck, then by all means, turn your gaze towards the left. Trying to just settle in and allow the twisting. Any kind of twist is a detoxifier. It's a way to rid your body of things that don't bring growth and development and happiness. Coming back to center, giving that right knee a gentle tug once again, and releasing that leg long. Bringing your left leg in towards your chest, and again, either grab it behind or on top, whatever feels right to you. And when you're ready, you can extend that leg up to the sky. You can keep it pointed or flexed, whatever feels right. Maybe you want to bend and straighten a couple times. If you'd like to lift your upper body, trying to bring that leg close to your forehead and your chest. Releasing your upper body, rebending that knee, and bringing your right knee in and giving your legs a hug. So holding on to opposite wrists. And see if you can come into a tight ball. So maybe your knees come towards your forehead and you're trying to come in here. Tighten up, really make this ball as small as possible. And then release the upper body. We're gonna do that one more time. Catch your breath here. And now bring your forehead to your knees. Tighten up, get as small as you can possibly be. Tensing all your body to get into this tight ball. And then release your upper body. Your feet grab the outside, your hands grab the outsides of your feet as you let your feet reach towards the sky. Your knees are pressing towards the earth. Ananda Balasana, happy baby. So this is a nice hip opener. You may want to take a little rock, like most happy babies do. Getting a little massage in your back, pressing your lower back into the earth. And you can take whatever final movements or stretches your body may need or craves. And we're working our way into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. So Shavasana is traditionally done flat on the back with your legs wide, your hands wide, palms up. If you have any lower back issues and this is not comfortable, I encourage you to bend your knees, bring your feet mat distance apart, letting your knees fall in. And another option I'm going to offer, since we have a wall, is maybe you want to press your feet into the wall as if we're in Tadasana, standing mountain pose, and allowing that grounding to the earth to settle you in. Noticing the parts of your body that are touching the mat. Feeling the weight of gravity pulling you towards the earth. Feel the earth's energy. You're relaxing into this feeling, following your natural breath Noticing your inhales and exhales. And allowing the exhales to float away any thoughts and feelings you may have. No judgments or frustration. If your mind is active, that's okay. But try to breathe away thoughts and feelings. And letting go and allowing yourself to be with your breath in the present moment. Connecting to the earth. Feeling yourself closer and closer to the center of the earth's core. Feeling grounded and stable, supported and nurtured by the earth. Beginning to deepen your breath, bringing a little movement to your fingers, to your toes, moving your wrists and your ankles, bringing your legs together, arms overhead for a deep body, full body stretch, reaching your fingers, reaching your toes, and then releasing that. Walking your feet towards your body, bending your knees, bringing your knees into the chest, giving them a loving hug, rocking from side to side. And rocking over to one side. Taking a moment to find stillness once again. Being in this fetal position. New birth, rebirth, feeling revived and calm and ready. Taking a moment to find gratitude. It is hard to find gratitude sometimes, but we must focus on what is good. Finding gratitude for your health and your body and all your loved ones. Pressing up to a seated position, coming back to Sukhasana, easy pose. Bringing your hands together at your heart, closing your eyes. I invite you to join me in one Om to seal our practice and keep this community connected. We'll breathe in, and on the exhale, Om. Breathe in. Om. Bringing your thumbs to the center of your forehead. The light and love and peace and hope within me sees the light and love and peace and hope within you. Namaste.